Hello and welcome to Reykjavík Grapevine's Newscast. My name is Valur Grettisson. I'm an editor-in-chief at Reykjavík Grapevine. We are here at the Rauðavatn, or the Red Lake. This is a wonderful area, good for dogs. We even have a path here that's called the Paradise Valley, and it's only for dogs. Well, humans like walk them also, but it's a really cool place. First of all, I hope that you actually had a very nice Christmas. We did. We also got a lot of packages from you. Thank you for that. For example, this bowl here, this is from Mike Richards, and thank you for that. He gave us also wonderful books that we have been reading over the Christmas, ghost stories, thankfully. It's really nice. Also, we had something from Canada. It was wonderful also. And yeah, I can't, I'm always so surprised how kind and nice you are actually when it comes to everything. And Polly got more presents than I did, so thank you for that. As a thank you for being so supportive over this last year, we're going to give away a box of some of our best-selling shop products, along with a piece of lava from Geldingadalsgos. And I'll mention that a little bit later on in the newscast. The eruption there is. All you have to do is to sign up for our newsletter using the link in the description down here before 3 o'clock in Icelandic time on New Year's Eve. That will be like on Friday. And also, then answer the question in the next newsletter. And this question is actually wonderful. This is Helgi. He is in our marketing department, and I love his questions. They are always funny and smart. So you can thank him for that. And this is the question for the Friday, the last day of the year. And it's news focused to sum up our year and encourage people to search our news and even Google them. So you need to Google a little bit what is true here and what is not. Art is going to show you exactly how this is written. Which of these Grapevine news headlines did not come up in 2021? Is it A walrus disappeared from Höfn? B, breaking eruption at Fagradalsfjall? Is it C, Hildur Guðnadóttir wins Grammy for Jokers? Or D, summer of 2021 is the warmest ever recorded in Reykjavík. So, if you know the answer, then just sign up for the newsletter. You can, of course, comment down below, but then you're not part of the contest. You have to sign up for the newsletter if you want to do that. But of course, you're free to comment as much as you want. And we would actually appreciate it if you could comment. Also, yeah, remember our membership also. And now, to the news. Obviously, this is going to be a little bit COVID-heavy kind of a newscast today. The thing is that we are breaking records every day now. We have been breaking these COVID records for days. Yesterday, we had 893 cases of COVID. This is incredible, to be honest. When we were in the beginning of the pandemic, we were having around 30 to 70 cases. This was very, very serious. I think the highest that we went in the beginning of the pandemic was around perhaps, it was between 100 and 200. And I mean, 800, almost 900 cases in one day is absolutely unheard of, and it's really something. Of course, Delta is still like the top variation or the strain that have been making our lives so miserable, but Omicron is obviously becoming a huge part of all of this. Not only this, our finance minister and the chairman of the Independence Party, Bjarni Benediktsson, he is also with COVID. Bjarni Benediktsson is a huge political figure in Iceland. He is one of the 3 leaders that is in coalition in the government. His party is the biggest one in Iceland and arguably the one that has most of the power. Although he is not the prime minister, that would be the left green party, or VG, like we call them, or Vinstri Græn. VG is also my initials, if you if you noticed. But so it could have been it was sometimes confusing when I was actually writing about this, when I was still in news, like political interviews. Then under you also always had your initials, and the article was about VG, and VG actually wrote the article. And this was often mentioned on the internet when I was a journalist. Like, how is it that the political parties writing their own news? Anyways, enough of that. Not only this, our Ministry of Science, Industry and Innovation also got infected, and interestingly so, because when I was writing about Bjarni Ben this morning, today is what, 28th of December, then the news actually broke out at the same time. So it's like there was a cabinet meeting this morning with the ministers, and the thing is that only there were 5 that were missing of these 10 ministers, and this means that 5 of them are still waiting for results. We could have more ministers with COVID. So if there was ever a time for a coup, this would be it, because we barely have a functional government right now. So let's see how that goes. Yes, and just to make everything a little bit more complicated, there are group infection of COVID within the health system, making the everyday battle in the hospital even harder for the staff. Not only do we have the staff members having COVID, and a lot of them, but also they have had to close off the department of for heart patients. And so on. It's like it's an absolute nightmare, and all the patients that can't go home they are sending them home right now, and the healthcare system is once again at its limits. This has been a running news for basically from the beginning of the pandemic. Our healthcare system was not in the best shape even when we started the pandemic, but it has. Is this sound, or it's like. I feel like I'm in danger here, actually. I can see the bottom of this lake. This is Rauðavatn. It's not that deep, actually. It wouldn't really matter if I would go through here. It would be just a little bit cold. Polly! Hi! Seems like Polly is not feeling this either. Yeah, another shocking news, COVID-related this time, is that the youngest patient in critical care in Iceland is 16-year-old boy. He has to have assistance to breathe, what do you call it, respiratory, something like that. I'm not sure what the machine is called. And this is quite shocking, because this is the first time we have such a young individual in that situation. Thankfully, we have given all kids over 12 years old the vaccine. They don't give us the information if the kid is if he has been vaccinated or not. For example, the government, like the Bjarni Benediktsson, the one that has COVID, the financial minister, he has both shots as well as the booster. Mostly all have it, but for example, I didn't get the booster yet, because there have to be like five months between shots and so on. So it's not everyone has had the booster yet. So it's it's quite concerning. 21 are at the hospital, but while 4 are in critical care. And these numbers are not that high, to be honest, when it comes to when you see how many are. Perhaps Art can test the ice for me. Yeah, you go backwards and I go here. Is this gonna be dangerous, or let's go into where the stones are? Yeah, the numbers are actually just fine when it comes to this. Oh, this seriously feels like unsafe, to be honest. I'm not sure what to do. Okay, we're good here. Just under 5,000 are in isolation right now with the virus. And just for fun, this is like 1.3% of the total population of Iceland. So it's very heavy for Iceland, and you can feel it in Reykjavík, for example. Nobody, like the traffic is like almost none. It's no problem to get between places. Most often it's quite slow, but it's absolutely, there are no cars around almost right now. And it's very quiet in the city. 7,000 are in quarantine, and just under 500 are in what we call investigative quarantine. That means that you're not technically in quarantine. There is a team that actually tries to trace who might be infected and who not, and they put people in in these investigative quarantines just to make everything more safe. So this is basically what is happening right now. Iceland is just crawling with this. It's not a good situation. We seem to be heading the same way as, for example, the UK, Denmark, and other European countries. I haven't been paying attention to the status in the US actually over the Christmas, but I'm guessing it's more or less the same. And then to the news that really matters, right? The eruption at Fagradalsfjall. Before we started that, check this out. Show them the bubbles here. I love this. How the bubbles. It's beautiful. The thing is, we are quite stressed. Well, not stressed perhaps, but surprised would be the right way to say it. I'm just going to go lightly into it because I want to go to the volcano tomorrow. If the weather is fine, it seems fine. It's cold, as you can see, of course, but it's not like it's nothing new. But the thing is that there have been a ton of earthquakes all around Fagradalsfjall, which is the volcano station, which erupted and became like what we call in Icelandic Geldingadalsgos. So this means that we are not only half sure, but pretty sure that it definitely will erupt. The reason is because it's the exact same rhythm that happened the last time. Of course, it could go, what could happen is that it would stop all of a sudden, but even then we would have, for example, the last time, the eruption stopped for 3 days and then it erupted. So we had to wait a little bit after the earthquakes. So you keep in mind, if you're watching this closely, and I know a lot of people are actually, the moment that the earthquake stops, that means the eruption is coming, most likely. Scientists say that the eruption will come up almost at the same place. But I have to show you, of course, when I go there, like there are other possibilities and far more dangerous actually. That could be a game changer when it comes to this. Also, geologists have said that we are, of course, in a very new era when it comes to Reykjanes, that's the peninsula, and that we are now heading for 100 to 150 years of exactly this, where we have earthquakes and then eruptions, and these eruptions that we have had so far are small. The bigger ones will be in Svartsengi as well as in Krýsuvík. These, if you don't understand it, don't worry. I'll explain it a little bit later on. These are just the area around. It's like there are 5 volcanic stations, and Fagradalsfjall is by far the smallest one. So the thing is, it's also interesting that the activity actually started the same day as La Palma in Spain actually went down. And there was articles about this in Iceland where they asked, is this in some ways connected? And volcanologists, they say absolutely no. There is no connections. This is a complete coincidence. And if you think about it, I mean, we have had we have had around at least six eruptions past 10 years, and it doesn't connect with anything else and so on. Why would Fagradalsfjall be connected to anything else, like rather than Eyjafjallajökull or Holurhraun or whatever these places are called? But the thing is, and the big news here is basically this, that the eruptions are going wild. We've had 3,000 eruptions per day, and they are pretty big. They are up to 4 in Richter, in magnitude, sorry. Nobody used the Richter scale anymore, I guess. But the thing is also, we are feeling this very well in the city, and they are very rapid. I felt like 4 or 5 of these. Polly is, of course, she's very afraid of this, like always, you know this. And basically it's just a question now when it's going to happen. And I do have a timetable for you. It's interesting because we have such a brilliant scientist in Iceland, and they know that the magma is now in around 2 kilometers depth. And when that happened the last time, then it was around 3 weeks until it erupted. So if it's going to follow the same cycle, which we have no idea if it will, of course, we could expect a volcano in Iceland within these 3 weeks. The only difference though, and this is a huge difference actually, is that the volcano in March, last March, is probably 3 times bigger than the one that will come up now. Meaning that this will be even smaller. But this is good news for you, because if you're actually coming to Iceland, for example, this will be even more safer and even more of a odd spectacle than if it would be bigger, meaning that you couldn't get that close to it and so on. So it could even be like more of a cute, if you will, kind of eruption. The perfect tourist eruption. Of course, we should not talk so lightly about eruptions, to be honest, but this is how we do it though. So it could be something. But I want to show you this on Thursday, on our last newscast for the year. And talking about the last thing of something in the year, fireworks. If you are in Iceland actually, then you should go now and buy fireworks, because they start selling them at 10 o'clock this morning. And the interesting thing is that the search and rescue teams, they use this to fund their activity, like their operation. So if you like the search and rescue teams in Iceland, and I love them because we have to rely on them if we get lost on the mountain, then this is the way to give them something back. You buy fireworks, shoot them up, and they get billions of Icelandic kronas from this. We literally blow up and burn billions of Icelandic krona just to have a festival on New Year's Eve and shoot up fireworks. For those that haven't seen this, we have videos actually. Art can perhaps link it up here. And these videos are spectacular, and just being here on this day is absolutely spectacular. This is not without controversial though. Of course, like these fireworks, they can be very, what would you say, like they can be very, they can pollute a lot, with a lot of metal in them and so on. And there can be clouds, like polluting clouds with it if there is no wind. This was not a concern in the 80s when there was so much wind that it didn't really matter. But we're living in the time of global warming, so it means that Iceland has much nicer weather than ever before. And that means also that the wind is not always that much on the New Year, on the first day of the New Year. But my family, we always buy like fireworks. You can also buy like a certificate that someone will put down a tree. You can do it however you want to and whatever makes you feel comfortable about things. Yeah, and that's it for the newscast. I just want to point out here, I don't know if Art can show you this. This mountain there is called Vífilsfell, one of my favorite mountains in the city area. It's really fun to go up there. It's an odd hike, and there could be very different weather even up there, like with fog and everything. But the view there is absolutely spectacular. So I have to say, I am like, I don't know if like we should actually teach people to walk on the ice, right? So, you see, you probably saw that I don't fall on the ice. It's because we bend our knees. Simple as that. We can walk like this, and we can walk quite fast like this. I've been walking. I've been with like not tourists, like expats living in Iceland, and they just can't stand on these on these ices, like even in Reykjavík. But it's fairly simple in Iceland, and it's always basically just don't walk on your toes or on the heels, and just bend your knees, and nothing will happen. This is also the style that Art actually used when he's filming me, so he's always steady. Thank you for watching. See you later. Hopefully we'll be at the Volcano in our next episode. But keep in mind, Iceland is Iceland. Sometimes it just pulls out nasty storms or nasty weathers, and there can be very different weathers all around here, although it's good here. So let's see how that goes. I have more news about the volcano, of course. This is only like, hi. I'm gonna run with Polly. I'm gonna show you how slippery this is. Yeah. Woo! This seriously feels unsafe.